North Bethlehem Road and southwest of Russell Street from I-1 Industrial District to C2 Transitional Commercial. It's Lexington County TMS 00-7000-06-005. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this rezoning? If there are no speakers, I will close the public hearing now. And at this time, I'll call the regular meeting to order here at the town of Batesburg-Leesville. It's our regular council meeting, January 13th, 2020, 7:02:01 p.m. at the beautiful town hall complex. Thank you all for being here. I know it's a big game tonight. We'll try to be efficient with your time. Moving on to item 2, invocation, Pastor John Uriah, Samaria Baptist Church. Uriah, thank you. Sorry, John. What's your name?
John Uriah.
Uriah. If you lead us in our invocation, sir.
Let us pray. Father God, I pray today as this meeting begins, Lord, that we would keep in mind your scriptures that say, may the words of our mouth and the meditations of our hearts be pleasing to you. God, I thank you for this group of men and women that are responsible for the business and the operations of this wonderful town. I pray, Father, that in your best interest this work would be done. That, Lord God, you would heal where healing is needed, that you will encourage when there is encouragement needed and convict when conviction is needed. Thank you, God, that you have entrusted this town to these here. And that, Father, every ruler and every kingdom and every government is put together by your hand. And we pray, Father, now that we would honor you in that. And we pray this in the name of God the Father and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and our constant mediator and friend, the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. At this time, item 3, Pledge of Allegiance, if you would stand. Councilman Poland Gambrell, if you would lead.
Let us stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the approval of the agenda, do I have a motion? Mr. Gambrell, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Prowse. Any discussion? District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
yes.
District 3?
District 3 votes yes.
District 4? District 5? District 6? 7?
Yes.
8?
District 8 votes yes.
And I vote yes, the agenda has been approved. Moving on to the adoption of the minutes. This evening we have 2 minutes to adopt. We have our item A, regular council meeting on December the 9th, 2019. The minutes were provided in your packet. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
So moved.
Mr. Prowse. And Ms. Etheridge, second. Thank you. Any discussion? District 1? 2?
Yes.
3?
District 3 votes yes.
4? 5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Regular council meeting minutes from December 9th were adopted. Moving on to item B, special council meeting December the 11th. Do I have a motion to adopt those minutes? All right, Ms. Lemon with the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Prowse, any discussion? District 1? 2?
Yes.
3?
District 3 votes
4? 5? 6?
Yes.
7?
yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The minutes have been adopted from the special council meeting on December the 11th. Moving on to item 6, this is the mayor's report. Our next regular council meeting will be on the February the 10th, 2020. Here we are. Item B, council committee reports. Number 1, Central Midlands Council of Government, the COG, Councilmember Gambrell.
Yes, sir. Central COG had a meeting on December the 12th. At that meeting, we discussed several things. One was transferring the $292,000 to the Kitty Hawk Drive Sideway Project, 1,600 feet of sidewalk, town of Springdale. Resolution for grant applications. According to the state or federal law, they have to go through this the whole time. They have a draft of the 2019 annual listing of obligated projects. This is showing how COG spends money. Enhancements, interchange, corridor improvements, all that kind of stuff. They go through a lot of money on it.
Do we get any money?
We did get money on something, I forgot what it was.
Was it the Highway 23 resurfacing?
Yeah,
I believe that's it.
And additional money for the Highway 1 widening?
right. Thank you, Mr. Town. I did not know they did this, but they have disadvantaged business enterprise goal. They are going to spend some money on identifying areas that are of disadvantage throughout the COG district, throughout the state really. And they're gonna spend money on bringing these up to, trying to bring them up to date.
You mean like downtown Batesburg?
Yep.
Okay.
We just have to apply.
Who's in charge of doing that for
Teddy would be liaison with the,
Ted, who you got working on that?
On the,
Getting that money, the disadvantage.
I don't know if Teddy has been made aware of that.
yeah,
Can you let us know who you're gonna, make the point person on that?
I'll get with Councilman Gambrell more about that.
Yeah, will y'all let us know?
Yes, sir.
When you know? Thanks.
Now, this is one that I paid close attention to, is adopted computerized signalization system for the town of Lexington. And they have put out a nice white paper on the streets and where they started and where they're going to end. And they made the statement that if you go through the city of Lexington, the main street there, that you will not stop at more than 2 red lights. City limit is city limit. That's what they are quoted as saying. But it's real interesting, little paper, tells how much money they got invested and all like that, how they're gonna save time, taxpayers going through the city limits of Lexington. I want to bring up one more time, I don't know if anybody else is gonna mention it, that the United States Census Bureau is fixing to get started on hiring some people to help out with the going from house to house. And they are going to send, if you haven't received it yet, they're going to mail out a letter to every household, so every household can send in whether or not they're registered to vote, where they live, and there's a third one in there. But that should be coming out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And the bad side of this is if you do not, even if you don't answer anything on the sheet, you have to return it so they'll know that you are there. If you don't return it, they have no indication that you're there or not. Any questions?
So, in other words, send it back.
Send it back. Send it back.
So if you worried about deportation,
Send it back.
okay. All right, so that's our message to everybody. Send it back. Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Gambrell?
Oh, that's enough.
All right. Moving on to Environmental Planning Advisory Committee, Councilmember Prowse.
EPAC did not meet in December, however, some good news. We have a scheduled meeting for this Wednesday, the 15th, so hopefully I'll have something to report next month.
That's great, thank you. Moving on to item 3, Joint Municipal Water and Sewer Commission. The Water and Sewer Commission did meet on January 8th, Wednesday night, and it was kind of a lengthy meeting. In the general manager's report, some of the main stuff to come out of there that affects people inside their coverage area. The water, taste, odor complaints are basically gone. That kind of went along with the heat and other modifications that they've made at the plant in West Columbia. The Highway 378 Cox Ferry tanks are chemically cleaned and inspected. Some other cleaning type activities like that. Wastewater, they're continuing to work on some stuff on Lydia Drive around the Pillion Middle School, if you know anyone out that direction. Also for the evening, in the manager's report, they continue growing at about a 4.31% rate. At the commission, currently 17,563 water customers as the population continues to move this direction. There's also a presentation by the Revenue Bond Company on that recap of that loan. So the great news is that Joint Municipal they received an increase in their bond rating from Moody's and S&P, and they are now it's AA2 rating on the bond side. Placing them really high and saving an interest of like $331,000 on the bonds that we have with them. They also present the audit. The audit was presented for their fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2019. Operating revenues continued to increase. They went from $15 million in 2017 to $15.7 in 2018 to $17 million in 2019 as they continue to grow. Also on the other side, their expenses were only $8 million. They're operating at a really great level of debt service for everything that they have going on. And that pretty much wrapped up the meeting there. There was executive session, but nothing came out of the executive session. Moving on to Chamber of Commerce update. Mr. Mike Taylor sent me a quick email. He is unavailable tonight. Very light. Just wanted to mention that the Arts on the Ridge presented an evening of holiday spirit on Friday, December 13th at Southern Occasions. It was a 6:30 p.m. event and featured performances by Mr. Sam Phillips, who was really amazing. And he was accompanied by Becky Hughes. Piano music was by Miss Keona Lakes and narration by Reverend Lisa Eisenhower. Very spiritual event and everyone really loved it. He also wanted to say that the Chamber in Batesburg-Leesville received a legislative update from the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce on Friday, January the 10th. Looking at things like education reform, business license tax bill that's been introduced. Those are probably the main things to pay attention to. Santee Cooper. There's also a budget surplus, so call your representatives and talk to what's going to be happening with that. And that's all I have from the chamber. Moving on to item 7, public comment regarding items on the agenda. Ms. Judy, do we have anyone?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to speak at this moment on the public comments.
I don't think that we can do that by ordinance, but
Do I need to sign the person's privilege? As a council person, you can't speak.
not during the public. Not during the public. I think it's in the ordinance.
The council.
It's in there, yeah.
Personal.
Mr. Kane. Moving on to unfinished business. Item A, second reading of ordinance rezoning property located northwest of West Columbia Avenue, northeast of North Bethlehem Road, and southwest of Russell Street, from I-1 Industrial District to C2 Transitional Commercial. Lexington County TMS number 00700-06-005. Do I have a motion to accept the second reading?
So moved.
Mr. Prowse, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gambrill. Any discussion on this? District 1?
District 1, no,
2?
Yes.
3?
District 2 votes yes.
4? 5? 6?
yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The second reading has passed. Moving on to new business, presentation of fiscal year 2018-2019 financial audit by Dooley and Company. At this time, I would request that the town manager introduce our guest, please.
Okay, we have Ms. Amy Ely from Dooley and Company with us tonight. They have been performing the financial audit for fiscal year 18-19 over the past 2 to 3 months. And they have prepared their final audit, which council received a copy of this past Thursday to review leading up to tonight. Ms. Ely?
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Sure, glad to be here. As I said, I'm going to be reporting on the financial position of the town as of June 30th, 2019. In this audit, the town received an unqualified opinion, and that's the best opinion that the town can receive. And basically, that means that the financial statements are fairly presented in material respects. During this year under audit, there was no new debt issued. The town did continue to make payments on leases and a bond that were still outstanding. The general revenues of the town, which include property taxes, state revenue, licenses, and permits, were around $3.8 million. That's about 47%. Better? All right, I'll speak up. The town had program revenues, which is grants and payments for services of $4.2 million. That's 53% of the budget. So the total revenue of the town and the utilities is about $8 million. The town and the utilities has expenses of $7.4 million. So as you can see, the revenues were adequate to cover the expenses. The town had assets of $19 million and liabilities of $7.5 million. A large portion of those liabilities included the net pension liability, and that amount was $5.3 million. That pension liability is basically the town's share of the state police retirement system's pension liability. The net position of the town is approximately $12.4 million. That's a indicator that the town is good financial standing. The net position of the town would help increase by about $676,000, which is a 6% increase from last year. So I encourage you to look through all the reports in the audit, and they'll provide you with more detail of them.
Thank you. Does the council have any questions that they would like to ask at this time?
I have a few.
Yeah, certainly, Mr. Hall.
On the net increase, was that due primarily to hospitality tax and payments into our reserve fund? What was the increase? 6%?
Right, there were, the hospitality tax is shown, that was almost $340,000.
Of that?
Of that amount.
Okay.
None was spent during the fiscal year.
Yes. And payment into the reserve fund, was that included in the net?
Payment to the reserve fund is not included as a revenue or an expense, it's just a transfer, so it wouldn't show in the number.
Okay. The general fund revenue, the general fund status of $1,004,000, is it? it decreased to $1,406,000, $196,000 decrease in the net fund balance, the general fund balance. Now, does the state mandate a minimum fund balance?
To my knowledge, the state doesn't mandate that. We have recommended in the past that that be about 3 to 4 months expenses.
Actually, yeah, okay, 3 to 4 months expenses. So do you calculate that and advise what that should be?
I don't have that number calculated.
Because that fund has to cover the months of August, September, October, November, and December, where we have significant differences between revenues and expense. So basically, we have no reserves in the general fund area, is that correct?
So you have about 1.4 million in reserves for the general fund.
That's not, is that a real reserve? Because that's actually, of that 1.4, you already said that 5 months of that is going to be spent. So it's not a reserve. Now, for contingency purposes, if we had a disaster, I say that our true reserve is only about $500,000.
Now, if you look at the month ending December, general fund bank account balance, $563,841. That is about the lowest, that is the lowest point that you're gonna see that bank account in an annual basis. So we have about right at
How
$564,000.
does that compare to last year?
Oh, I don't have last year right here in front of me. Hang on.
But is that 3 months worth of savings or reserve?
Not quite. It's probably more like 15 or 16%. It's gonna be closer to that.
Okay, so ma'am, you say that we need to have about 3 months, 3 to 4 months in reserve?
That's generally what we would recommend.
Okay, and right now, we don't have that, right? Okay.
Okay, and it might be noted that of that 563, we've already, against our net fund, that fund included the savings account, 37,000? No.
I'm not sure
The
exactly.
1,000,004, I'm sorry, the 1 million, the numbers are, since I'm just seeing a fresh copy, 1,464,000, that includes the $37,000 savings account.
The town has cash of 1.4 million as a separate account for the hospitality, which is about 240.
But the 1.4 includes the general saving, the
Includes- that's
general
all
fund
cash.
account, plus all other accounts that are,
It's all cash except for the hospitality.
all the cash, including police reserve, okay.
Something you could work a further explanation
Sure, I could-
on.
If you'd like more detail that I have in front of me,
Yeah,
I'll get it to you.
I just have one more, because I'm a fan of the fire department, and on page 7 of the report, you did a good analysis of the cost of the individual departments, and then you went a little further and you said the net cost to our taxpayers. And our fire department cost $565,893, and you say all of that was transferred cost to the taxpayer. We have a SAFE grant, is that correct? We get $50,000 from Lexington County and we get $33,000 from Saluda County. Are those numbers about right? So the net cost of the fire department to the Batesburg-Leesville taxpayer is probably more, and I'm bad at numbers, I'm like the boy from Oxford, Tennessee, trying to read War and Peace. But anyway, so it's more like $300,000. And then I might make the public aware of the fact that your tax bill is also has a 20 mil credit against county taxes. So virtually our fire department, as far as our Batesburg-Leesville taxpayers are concerned, is virtually tax-free. And our ex-fire chief for that.
Well, I don't know if I
Mr.
go
Hall,
quite
let's-
that far, but just for clarity,
If you would please approach the podium if you want to if you'd like to make a statement, I'd come up here. But we're discussing the audit So let's,
That's it.
Just at the point.
no, it's a piece of it, but I think there's parts of this that can't
You got
be
some place to
answered.
be?
Can't be answered and we,
You got someplace to be?
no, I don't, actually. I'm a Missouri Tigers fan, so I have no place to be. I'm good. We're out. Missouri Tigers are out, actually, so, we're good. Mr. J, you have the floor.
Well, just for clarity, Saluda County contract's about 5,000.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You may be referring to the other SAFER grant that was a year grant of about 34,000 last year. Is that?
I'm speaking of the offset for the training officer, retention officer,
There are two SAFER grants we have. One was about 50,000.
but that is in this $565,000 number.
Yes, sir.
So it is not a cost to the taxpayer.
I
That's
just
the grant.
wanted to clarify the Saluda County figures. That's all I was.
And I apologize if I went off course here, but I saw that, it was one of those incidents where the numbers did not look.
Do you, as the auditor, do you see red flags in this audit that we need to really be concerned about?
So I think the town's in great financial position.
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question. Now, the
Kane.
1.4 mil, is that enterprise in general? And is there a reserve in the enterprise?
The cash balance,
Yeah.
is that what you're referring to? That was just the general fund. The utilities has additional cash.
How much do we have in the enterprise fund? And how much reserve do we have there? Are we at that 4-month deal on that?
I think it is there.
Well, I'm just gonna ask, I don't know, what's the number?
The unrestricted is about 4 million.
4 million. And then, do we have the 4 months reserve, or it should be more than that for
I
enterprise?
don't know the monthly expense total because you have about 4 million in unrestricted. I don't know what the 3 to 4 months, I haven't calculated that.
Okay, I was curious. We can get back with you on that?
Sure,
Okay.
feel free to.
All right.
Any other questions? Thank you so much. At this time, really just looking for a motion to accept the audit. Does it have to be approved by us, it needs to be accepted. And Mr. Gambrell? Second by Ms. Etheridge. Any other discussion? District 1? 2?
Yes.
3?
District 3 votes yes.
4? 5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the audit has been accepted. Thank you so much for being here. Moving on to the first reading of the ordinance. This is the first reading of the ordinance setting council compensation. State of South Carolina, Town of Batesburg-Leesville ordinance. This was supplied in the packet for all the council members. Whereas the mayor and council members previously enacted section 124 of the Code of Ordinances for the town of Batesburg-Leesville. Whereas the mayor and council members wish to now set its compensation. Whereas the mayor and council members wish to establish minimum attendance in order to receive pay. Now therefore be it ordained by the mayor and council of the town of Batesburg-Leesville in council duly assembled that council pay shall be set as follows. The mayor shall receive $200 compensation per month less normal deductions required by state or federal law. Council members shall receive $400 compensation per month less normal deductions required by state or federal law. In order to receive monthly compensation set herein, attendance at the regularly scheduled council meeting shall be required during the previous month. The mayor and council, through majority vote, may excuse an absence and allow compensation to be paid to a member who provides justification for his or her absence. This ordinance shall be effective upon an affirmative vote on a second reading. Do I have a motion to adopt the first reading ordinance setting council compensation?
So moved.
Mr. Prowse, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? District 1?
District 1 votes no.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
District 3 votes no.
District 4? District 5? District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
Mayor votes yes. First reading ordinance setting council compensation has been approved. Moving on to the manager's report, item 10. Mr. Luckett, if you would come to the podium, you have the floor, sir.
Good evening, everybody. To begin, as council may recall, on November 26th, I had sent an email out to council letting council members know that there were appointments that needed to be made to the Board of Zoning Appeals, Planning Commission, or Hospitality Tax Committees, either reappointments for those existing members that were reelected, or for new members that may want to reappoint the existing or select new people to serve on these committees. At this point, I've received responses from a couple members. I think it's important to note that we need to try and get these appointments or reappointments established and in place as soon as we possibly can, as these committees do meet, the Planning Commission Board and the Board of Zoning Appeals. But as meetings come up, we need to make sure that we have newly appointed or reappointed people on those committees. They do run in conjunction with each council member seat. Moving on, it's that time of the year, South Carolina Ethics Commission Statement of Economic Interest for 2020. It is due by March 30th. So go ahead and put that date down so that you remember. As a reminder, the Statement of Economic Interest must be done online. It cannot be done paper. I know a lot of times people do have difficulty remembering login and password information from maybe when they ran for office, or it's just been 2 years since that time. If you do have any issues, let me know, because I've got contact information that you can call and they can help to get you reset on any of that if you have issues. But do note the March 30th, 2020 deadline for those Statement of Economic Interest. It is a $100 penalty if it is not done by them.
When can you go ahead and start doing it? Can you do it now?
You can start now.
Okay. Let's go ahead and knock that out.
Yeah, they will find you.
Moving on, the Comet Bus Service was to have started this past Thursday, January 9th. I talked with Executive Director John Endo the first week, the week of New Year's, and confirmed that we were looking at a Thursday, January 9th start date. He confirmed it, but I don't believe it actually started this past Thursday. He was supposed to get us the marketing material. He was supposed to get us the route information so that we could get that out. We tried to reach out multiple times to get that prior to this past Thursday. Didn't have any luck getting it. I have contacted him a couple times since Thursday, trying to get an update and to confirm when the route will indeed start and when can we expect to get material, because we would like to let the public know exactly when it is going to start, where the pickup points are going to be, and what times can people expect for the bus to be coming through town. I will continue to be persistent throughout this week to try and get as much information as I can.
Who's your report person on that? Who's your staff person on that?
I've been working on this. Moving on, North Lee Street and Livingston Lane Sewer Line Project. Since council's approval of the contractor and funding at last month's council meeting, we have worked to get a construction timeline from AAA Utilities for this work. Work is scheduled to begin this Wednesday, January 15th, and both projects will be completed by May 5th on this project. I know they are going to bounce back and forth between the two during this time frame. They're not going to completely do one and then go down. They're gonna do all their boring that they have to do underneath roadways all at one time, so they can have their boring machine out there one time versus having to bring it back and forth, different things. So they're going to kind of be going between the two projects over that time period, back and forth. As we know of any traffic impacts that may occur, we will let council and the public know. With regards to the water alternative study, Hazen and Sawyer, the consulting firm that was hired to perform this study, has completed the study and is ready to present their findings to council. We have scheduled them to present at an executive session work session on Monday, January 27th at 6 o'clock here at Town Hall.
Yeah, can we get that in advance? I don't want to see it for the first time when they come. If you don't mind.
I will talk with them
Okay.
about that. The master plan study has been completed as well, and they are finalizing their final draft or report of the study. We have scheduled that consulting firm, Land Plan Group, to present their findings and recommendations at a work session on Monday, February 24th. As well, that night, council, I think I previously reported this, council was never presented the final study on the bike and pedestrian study, so we have them coming the same night, so you guys will get that presentation as well. Moving on to the town financial update. Quick recap of some account balances. General fund checking right at $564,000 to end the month. The savings account that we spoke of earlier, $37,351. Our police donations, $11,594. Our fire department 1% is $15,585. Our municipal court, $35,935. And our victims assistance, $465.85, bringing our non-utility fund amounts to $664,773 for our non-utility bank account fund.
The indigent fund, where is that? How much we have?
You talking about the
Yeah, that we.
senior assistance?
No.
There's not a fund for the indigent defense attorney, it's just a budgeted line item within.
Where are we with that though? Where are we? Are we spending that money or what's happening with that?
Yeah, she's on the monthly retainer by contract.
We're contracted with
Are
her.
they gonna give us a report back though?
They will, and the numbers have gone up some, and that's something as we move into budget season, we're gonna have to talk about.
May I ask one more question?
Yeah, Mr. Kane.
Okay, so, I'm concerned that we don't get a report from the court. And that's part of, that object fund. So I'm very curious about how that money is going and what she's doing, how many people she's representing, all that. Can we make sure?
Well, I would recommend this for any council members that may want to report from the court on a monthly basis, like in our monthly report. If you guys will email me the specific information that you are looking for from the court, I will request that be sent to us as a part of the monthly council report statistics each month.
Do the judges, do they do a monthly report? Do we know? Because the
Not
judge,
anything that I received, no.
well, because the judges are, we're about to appoint the judge, so, but we never get a report from the judge. Now, we get a nice report from the chamber, but we don't get a report from the judge, and we appoint the judge.
If I may, Mr. Kane, I believe that the judge is required to supply the Supreme Court Administrator a monthly report on his caseload.
That'll be fine.
I've asked that we take a look at that.
That'll be fine. Can we get that?
Yeah, again, I would just ask any specific things you would like to see.
That's all I want.
Just shoot me an email and let me know what those are.
If he has to send something to the Supreme Court, that's fine with me. But I like to see it monthly. I don't know if anybody else, but I like to see it.
I
Okay.
don't think it would probably be that difficult.
Okay.
All right, our utility bank account balances, utility fund checking ended at $261,399. Our utility fund reserve, and just as a point of clarity, going back to the audit talk, This $765,715 is the 25%, the 3-month set aside, and that's been established in the utility fund. The only thing it's accruing at this point is interest off of the investment suite. The capital improvement impact fee account ended at $1,467,856. USDA debt service account ended at $563,253. And then got our USDA depreciation account at $3 and our senior assistance fund account at $2. Bringing the total of all utility funds to $3,058,230 to end the month of December. Yes, sir.
So, now, at some point, we raised our water rate 27.9%. And that money was supposed to be set aside to service loan. Is that money still being set aside?
Correct.
How much is in there? That's not being.
That is, if you look at your paper, that capital improvement impact fee account, most of all of that is the money that is set aside, as well as the utility fund reserve and that USDA debt service reserve. Those three combined are what's been transferred.
How much is in there? Because that's been like 10 years.
What I can do, I'll email out. I've got to pull the impact fee amount from the capital improvement impact fee account. What is that is earmarked as impact fees, and the remaining amount would be what's been transferred over and set aside. And the hospitality tax checking account ended the month at $474,264.48 for that. Couple quick notes within the budget for this month. All the transfers were made in both the general fund and utility fund for the merit cost of living increases, 2% that was given in this budget year. Those transfers were made in the month of December to account for those. The general fund, with regards to property tax revenue, a lot of the property tax revenue will start flowing in. We normally get a lot of that in January, tapers off a little bit in February, but in March and April, we continue to get a lot of our property tax money. So you will start seeing the general fund revenue really boost up over the next 3 to 4 months. You will begin to see an increase in the business license revenue coming in as January 1 begins a new business license year. Those renewal applications will be going out very soon if they've not already been put in the mail. And we will start to get those in with the bulk of that coming in April and May. We did receive our $30,000 in C funds from Lexington County in the month of December that we've been waiting on. And you also note in the police department capital line item, you will see for the month of December at $28,767 spent. That is one of the 2 new SRO vehicles purchased. So we had to order another one, so that purchase will occur once it's
So
done.
you've already received both?
We received one. We had to order one, so it'll take 6 to 8 weeks for that other vehicle to come in. In the utility fund, everything appeared to be operating normally in the month of December, and nothing really stood out for the utility fund.
Mr. Deluca, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I noticed in the expense check register, checks drawn on AXON Police Department, I believe. 2 checks, one in from a July invoice and one for a recent invoice. And I couldn't correlate that to a post on the expense report.
They were, what'd you say they were? Axon, that's who does our body cams.
But I couldn't marry that to a line item on the expense report.
I would like to confirm exactly what line item that was applied to, but it would be in the police department's budget, under police equipment or capital, one of the 2, but I can find out exactly which line item for that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 11, executive session. We have 4 items for this evening. It's discussion of contractual matters relating to the town attorney, discussion of contractual matters relating to the town judge, Discussion of council appointments for Central Midlands Council of Governments, Environmental and Planning Advisory Committee, Joint Municipal Water and Sewer Commission. Discussion regarding the selection of council members to serve on Town Manager's Evaluation Committee. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Mr. Gambrell, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Crouch. Any discussion? District 1? District 2?
Yes.
District 3? District 4? District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
And I vote yes, we're in executive session. At this time, I entertain a motion to return to regular session.
So moved.
Mr. Prowse, have a second? Second by Ms. Etheridge. Any discussion? District 1?
Mr. Ron votes yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
Yes.
4? 5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We are back in regular session. Moving on to item 12, possible actions by council and follow-up to executive session. Item A, possible action on contractual matters relating to the town attorney. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we amend the current contract to a 2-year contract ending the 31st of January with the current rates.
This would be the town attorney, sir.
Is that
Town attorney, 31st of
2021?
2021, I'm sorry. January 31st, 2021.
Do I have a second? This is a motion to do the same contract with updating the dates to January 31st. With
Update to current rates.
the current rates. Do you have a second by Mr. Gambrell? Any discussion?
We voting on that next month?
This would be to bring a contract back to
Bring the
council.
contract back to council
Yeah.
Thank you.
next month.
This vote would be to bring a contract back with
And update.
January 31st, 2021,
Updated
as ending with the current rates being paid,
All
to
right,
bring
Judy.
that contract back to council.
All right, Judy, how do you have that motion? Is it to bring back a contract or to approve the contract? Because you said to amend.
The clerk, if you would repeat the motion or read it back, if you would, please. Miss Judy?
She
As.
doesn't have-
Mr. Hall, you want to repeat it one more time? Your motion, please.
My motion was to amend the current contract to extend through January 31st, 2021 at the rates that are currently being paid.
We'll bring it back and then vote on it.
So let's second that.
Bring the contract back.
Okay. As long as we bring the contract back, with action on January. February. That's your
Any
understanding?
other discussion?
Is that your understanding?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. All right.
Any other discussion? Again, this is Town Attorney, District 1,
Mr. Ron votes yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and I vote yes. The motion passes. Moving on to item B, possible action on contractual matters relating to the town judge. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I make the same motion we did for the attorney to come back in the next meeting in February to vote on it.
Updated contract.
Updated.
Through January 31st,
Yes.
Okay.
2021. We had a joint motion here.
Ooh,
I second that joint motion.
at all the current rates.
Yeah.
Current rate.
all the current rates. Mr. Gambrell has the motion. Mr. King has the second. Any other discussion on the town judge contract? Is that clear?
A comment, everyone understands that once we accept him, we cannot fire him.
All right, good.
What are you talking
Do
about?
you understand?
Wait a minute.
Is that correct, Mr. Bradley? The judge can only be removed by the Supreme Court?
In anything else. You can cancel the contract anytime you want to.
Okay,
Thing I was-
thank you for,
And the other thing I was looking up for is on the town attorney, the ordinance, the town ordinance says that the town shall select a lawyer who has, wait, a minute. It says the attorney shall hold office for 2 years.
Yeah.
When you appoint,
That's
so
what we
what you
said.
said was that you're gonna end it in 2021. This will be 2022, because it would start 2020.
That's what I was telling y'all, we need to go for a
See,
year
that's
with
what
the
I'm
option.
saying, yeah.
No, the ordinance says.
I'm sorry, Mr. Luckady led me astray.
But we,
So
We
to
have a-
answer your question, it is a contract, it is a time period, and it's in the contract, it does give the council option to get rid of them for cause
Right.
with the town town
Judge.
judge.
I'm
Any other
sorry.
discussion?
Yeah, I read the municipal, I'm sorry, but we'll discuss it later, but,
well, we in discussion for this judge thing, but we sound like
Yes,
it's
sir.
like a boo-boo on that other thing. But let's finish.
On what?
Let's go,
We can-
let's go finish what we doing.
Yeah,
Any other discussion on town judge?
Just to
Just-
bring the
Just
contract,
clarify the
clarify the contract, bring it back.
Okay.
Hold on.
Mo-
Time out.
We have, no, we have a motion by, that was part of discussion, it was not an amendment, that was not an emotion. Yeah, I'm just clarifying. Ms. Mitchell was not making an amendment, she was not making an amendment, right? Ms. Mitchell? Were you making an amendment, Ms. Mitchell, or just discussion? Just discussion, correct?
The amendment with the
With-
updated contract,
But I think that's,
and that it, say what, what?
No, hold
I
on.
think we already have that in the motion.
Okay, we on the discussion, right?
We are in discussion
Okay, so.
on town judge.
All right, so when I coach ball, I always tell them, you make one mistake, don't make two. Now, we made a mistake with the attorney because it's supposed to be 2 years, right?
the judge is 2 years.
And the judge is 2 years, so what the motion needs to be, that he's gotta go through.
2022,
Or,
January 31st.
or he can go through, well, no, you can't do a year and then,
It'd be-
okay,
So
so
Chris,
the motion
you
needs
said
to be
both
going
has to
through
be
for 2 years.
Hold on.
The judge and the attorney.
Yes, what the thought process is that when you have an election, and you have new people come on council, you hire those positions for that council, which is a 2-year term, or there's another rollover.
Right.
Can't
The ordinance
obligate the one
specifically
council.
say that it is for 2-year terms for the judge and the.
Right.
So your contract and the judge's contract will be 2021.
No,
Actually,
20.
December
22.
Of 2021, December of 2021,
Of 2021,
that's when the new council
exactly.
would get sworn in.
Exactly.
All right, so now
That's- Mr. Granville, we have your motion, Mr. King, we have a second on it. Any other discussion?
that's what, you know what I'm saying, but we went now. We're going to 2021.
call for the vote.
2022.
The motion was for,
Would that be 2 years?
the motion for December 31st, or actually, the motion was for 2 years.
So
The motion was 2 years, so bring us that contract. And if we're gonna go to a call for the vote for District 1, this is town judge. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion has passed. Moving on to item C, possible action on council appointments for item A, Central Midlands Council of Governments. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we, Bob, which is it? Oh, Bob Hall.
Ms. Mitchell makes a motion for Bob Hall to serve on Central Midlands Council of Government. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Prouse. Any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District 4, District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Passes, motion passes. Moving on to item B, Environmental Planning Advisory Committee. Do I have a motion? We have a motion to keep Mr. Prouse on.
Second.
By Ms. Lemon. I had a second. Who was the first second?
Coleman.
Mr. Gambrell. Any discussion? District 1,
Mr. Ron votes yes.
2,
Yes.
3. 3,
Yes. Sorry,
4,
football.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8.
Yes.
And I vote yes, motion passes. Item C, Joint Municipal Water and Sewer Commission. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll put my name in, motion for that, position.
Mr. Kane makes a motion for himself. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Mitchell. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Gambrell, you have the floor.
make a nomination for you to be a representative.
You got it.
We got a motion on the floor.
Motion. You gotta vote on this motion first. If this motion passes, then Mr. Kane's on. If it fails, then somebody can make another motion.
I withdraw my vote.
As part of discussion, I will say that I've enjoyed serving for 2 years and I would love to serve again. The mayors of Swansea, Mayor Sanders, Mayor Palin, Mayor Shumpert, Mayor Parton of Casey, Mayor Bivens of Gaston, Mayor Miles of West Columbia, Mayor Bishop of Springdale, Mayor McDougal of Lexington all serve on that commission with me. And I can tell you that the manager of the commission would love to have me serve again. It's an honor to serve. Any other discussion? We have a motion for Mr. Kane to serve on the Joint Municipal Water and Sewer Commission. District 1,
Yes.
2,
No.
3,
Yes.
4, 5,
Yes.
6,
No.
7,
No.
8.
Sorry, I did not hear the vote of 4. If I may,
It is,
vote 4.
She said yes.
number 4 voted, yes.
It's 4-3.
Yes.
And I vote no, motion passes. Moving on to item D, possible action regarding the selection of council members to serve on Town Manager's Evaluation Committee. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that Shirley Mitchell, Bob Hall, myself, and the mayor serve on this committee.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Kane, second by Ms. Mitchell. This would be, the mayor is by default. This would be Ms. Mitchell. This would be Mr. Kane. And this would be Mr. Hall. Is that the motion?
Yes.
And I'm by default. District 1,
Mr. Ron votes yes.
District 2,
No.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4, District 4,
She said yes.
What did you say?
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
No.
District 7,
No.
District 8,
No.
and the mayor votes no. Motion fails. Do I have another motion for selection of council members to serve on Town Manager's Evaluation Committee?
What's the point of us holding this education? To do that. Simple.
Do I have another motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that in addition to you as default, we include on that committee Mr. Olin Gambrell, Ms. Shirley Mitchell, and myself.
Do we have a second? The mayor's by default. Gambrell, Mitchell, and Prouse, mayor's by default, and Mr. Gambrell, Ms. Mitchell, and Mr. Prouse?
Okay, and yourself, right?
Yes, sir. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Gambrell. Any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
4, 5, District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. Our motion passes. Moving on to item 13, potential agenda items for next month's meeting, February 10th, 2020.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we have a report from the Hospitality Committee on what in the world they doing with $400,000, or intending to do with $400,000. We need to have somebody from Hospitality report to us.
I second that, Mr. Mayor.
We have a motion to have the Hospitality Committee representative on the agenda, and a motion by Mr. Kane, second by Mr. Gambrell. Any discussion? District 1, 2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4, 5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion passes. Any other items for potential agenda for next month's meeting?
Oh, wait. We need to have a work session.
We have a motion for a work session. That is, how is that an agenda item on the meeting, sir?
No, I'm saying,
We're on item 13, Mr. Kane.
I'm sorry.
Potential agenda items for next month's meeting, February 10th, 2020.
Mayor, if we do not have a work session.
Mr. Kane,
Okay.
if it's not on the agenda, you can talk to the town manager after the meeting.
Can I make the motion? Can I make the motion before you rule on whether I can make?
Make a motion if it's an agenda item for the February 10th meeting, sir.
Okay, so I move to put a work session on the agenda for the next meeting if we don't have one prior to. So we don't
That's
have.
not,
If we don't
it's
have.
not a
one, I
motion
want
to
us
put an
vote.
item on the agenda, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's talk to the town manager. Thank you. Any other items for the agenda for the February 20th meeting? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mr. Gambrell, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Prowse. Any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5, District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and I vote yes. We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.